theta brainwave state. We are receiving out of the sun into our crown chakras, into the corona. It's really important to be quiet and get used to that state of receiving. Once you have been meditating, practicing meditation for long enough, you persist and you study that state, like, what are we doing there? You could be doing it accidentally, but no. The way that it works is that you are, there's a plan for you. I was going to say chosen, you're chosen. But everybody has this capacity, but some of them become a communicator. They say, I am a channel. They aren't so confused. And this takes a lot of relaxation of the mind. And see, I just happen to play music by myself and in front of people. But my story is by myself. Why? Because you're by yourself. People come and go. And a lot of people don't really know me unless they see me sitting in or being involved in that construct of music, which I'm very much a Libra rising. I'm sorry, Libra, 5 planets in Libra, Mars rising, Aries rising, and Happy New Year, by the way, it's coming. And so the real way, the phenomenon with music is that you share it live. First of all, it's a live phenomenon. And then so other people come with a tambourine or a bell or something. And when people start harmonizing that way, that's another amazing thing that's happening. And that's when you know that, to me personally, I think a true musician is somebody who can play well with other people, play the music well, and that is something. It's more like along the jazz line, right? The jazz musicians are the ones who work along a structure. There's that basic thing that they will use to communicate, to see how their chemistry is, which is the blues structure. When we talk about music, babes, we're talking about, if you want to talk about the solar system and the sun and the entire cosmos, it's made of music. So you can start now in learning how to clap your hands on the one. That's an awareness that, okay, so you've got the vibration, there it is. It's the beat, and then when it kind of resets, right? Could be a 4 or an 8 time or something or anything, but you have an intuition. Now you're developing that intuition. But really, that thing is perfect. That's music is, if you're confused about perfection, music is a sign that that's what perfection sounds like. I mean, that's just the proof that perfection exists. And human beings are capable. They do it every day. It is, if you really knew what music was, which is math, geometry, then you would fully comprehend the perfection that I'm referring to, and then how that, I can hardly explain this, but I'm getting ready to. A musician, okay, so you have that spectrum of just on the one, ta, two, ta, two, 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 ta, you know, it's on the one, that's what they call it. They always say, get up on the downstroke, or whatever, it's the one. It's just a looping, but you know, music is really a wheel. That's the way you look at it. That's the way it feels. There's a center, and it's in control. You aren't. I mean, yeah, you know, you are receiving and you're outputting, but if you want to make a really excellent piece within that structure that is happening, it could start just at the first count. That the whole thing opens up as a mandala in your mind, and that's what the jazz musicians are doing. They kind of start with a structure, and then the whole thing is like, from there you're listening to the expansion of the mandala. Anything could be jazzed up that way, right? Getting back to, so that's what I was just taking you through there. I'm pretty sure is the delta brainwave state. I don't know anything about it, but I began to learn of the alpha because that's what pretty much you're doing, like if you're on a cell phone or something, or you're driving your car. It's kind of an automatic state. It could be a state of hypnosis. But with meditation, you're paying attention. You are placing your awareness in such a way that now you're looking at your hypnosis and maybe the distraction that could be that's not that, you know, and everything, to tell you the truth. There's just a factor of awareness. It's not a feed in about anything except for what is as it is, and it could be very intense at first. But not. I mean, if people sit down and say, I'm going to meditate, you know, for me, it's just, it's an accidental thing. If you're lucky, you find yourself doing an art form or something. You could just be walking, babes. This is the funny thing about meditation. Is like, it's actually it's your natural state of being if you are aware, because your mind isn't aware. It's not awareness. I love this part. Now is awareness. So you can just choose, and I remember that. I remember the day. It was when I was 36 or so. I was 38, and I can play the drums. I'll put a little video of it right here. The recordings aren't doing it for us, babes. That's the day that music died, is when they started recording it. Anyway, and people gave up playing it and just even doing it. It's naturally in everybody. They're just not exposed to it. Some households are being trained. I mean, of course, it's the system that says, waste of time, don't do it. That's all the math you need to know right there. You don't need to know anything else other than that. Mathematically, it will teach you, it will open, first of all, it opens both sides of your brains when you start doing a certain way, and then what you're now aware of is the real math behind everything. The rhythm, vibrational frequencies, the measurements, lengths, everything. So, and then my theory is that you know, you are afraid maybe of life or something like that. No, that's one of the things, and there's many, but it's one of the major things, unlike anything else, that mantra, music, kind of the focus of that center can take you anywhere. You'll see it on um, movies and stuff, like in the old Western movies where there's a bar scene that breaks out. Usually there's a band playing in the background. Well, if you ever notice, it's just like every time that band just keeps playing, because that's what really happens. That's what happens with me. You cannot obstruct me when I'm playing the song. And I hope it's the same for other musicians that I'm with, because it's like, babe, this is what you are radiating out to the crowd. See, there's a lot that's going on, that people line up around the blocks and 2 miles away just to pay to see what? It's not known. Um, the delicacy that's happening there. So many different complex things that is so important to mankind, to just expose it and say, these are people getting along for like 3 hours. Wow, they agreed on one thing and actually harmonized. They set themselves aside, and the music is what came through. You know, it's really very much its own intelligence, and it will play itself. It will play itself from just the one A vibration mandala. A true musician is just looking at that flash, and they see all the avenue to go. I was talking like this when I was 6 years old. By the time I was 6, I was playing for like a couple years and a half, real live musical structure. And my mom asked me, she says, how do you come up with it? How do you do it? And I said, well, at first there's like a center from there, and then from there, you know, now I'm talking about what creates harmony. You kind of leave space in between, and then that fits. And I just use what fits, and I had my own language, And she looked at me, and she was like so satisfied. She was so like, like eating that up. My mom and my dad and people, they were very studied in, um, like Alan Watts. Like, I was weaned on Alan Watts, believe it or not, kind of like, I remember Alan Watts' material, and Baba Ramdas, and Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, and Maharaji, and all, and of course Krishnamurti, and well, just they love the poetry, and they love the study, and boy, 13 minutes of this. I'm feeling boy, these lights are like whitewashing. I don't mean to do that. Really, I want you to see all of the lines on my face. I'm actually an amazing character. It's really animating now with the N degree. If any Gemini is hitting my 369 or the N degree of my Mercury-Uranus conjunction, which is and the Uranus conjunct Mercury. No, when you see that, the conjunction, babes, not just any old tag, a square. See, I don't like the astrologers that just blend it in. No, the conjunction is a phenomenon. And so is the opposition, more so than the square. And the squares aren't desirable. It's like, oh no, this person's a haphazard. They can't really see around the... Anyway, thank you for listening to where did we go? I was trying to tell you about moving into that state more, because why? Because you have guides, comes out of the cosmos, and if you want a peaceful life, if you don't want one so full of like uncertainty, that feeling. I mean, it's all uncertainty. That's what the hell it is. And through all of that, you have a receiver, and I'm hearing knocks now. I heard one knock just about 20 minutes ago. I haven't had my knocks. See, there's knocks that happen in this house that are interdimensional knocks. And it actually freaks me out. It actually is freaking me out. Why? Because I haven't heard them in, well, it seems like a very long time. Before it was like systematic, and I'm trying to figure out who's here, what's going on. It's coming with feelings and stuff, and going through something. So now, okay, with that, saying that, it heard the knock. And it's like, it's time for change. That's what it says. It's time for change. Well, I know. I don't. Change isn't a big. Change is the universe. What they're saying is, it's time to make some money.